Welcome to a Thrumbles video review. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Today we're going to take a look at Transformers Legacy United Cybertron Univers Vector Prime. There's a mouth. Let's take a look at the packaging. And yes, it says it right there. And it has this fin right here that it's not accurate in the wires. But the vehicle mode is actually pretty awesome. The box is beautiful. I mean, it's very Vector Prime-y box artwork. Got a very Dinobot kind of esque head going on, but still. And got this thrilling 40 years of Transformer artwork going on here. That is a very wonderful head sculpt and a very wonderful metallic teal going on. Same with the shoulder pads. The gold on this gray pops. The maroon looks great. I'm just hoping that this maroon doesn't bleed on the plastic like the maroon has on Powerlink's Optimus Prime from Armada has. When I took that out of package, the clear rubber bands have actually picked up some of that wonderful maroon, especially from his Minicon. The clear plastic parts has picked up, and some of the gray parts, I'll show that in the video when I do that review. But getting back to Vector Prime, he has some wonderful details. I mean, the gold is exceptional. The metallic teal again in the belly dish. I wonder if he gets Disney Channel. Anyways, his thighs, shins, going up the back. This transparent teal has sparkly flakes in it, which is coming off on camera pretty nicely, actually. And his sword and accessories do have it as well. Speaking of, it does have that metallic teal to it, and the sparkly flecks in the teal plastic, and it has that maroon handle. Now, does anybody know why? I'm thinking it's only because they had the blade and the hilt on a sprue and the handle on another sprue, but it's pin jointed. For what reason? There's no place on him where it goes that acts like a landing gear or being a landing strut. So why does his sword... I don't know. And it does come with a cyber key, which is an itty-bitty little thing. And it does have a hole in the center of the actual unit to go onto this peg here to do the whole key on the sword thing he did in the show. He has come here, Mom. He has two slots on his chest in the dish to plug the key in directly into his chest, where I thought I saw it in the show at one point. He has a slot in his back, right, for the key to go in, right, but me personally, I like it in his chest, and he can hold his sword like a warrior should. And he has some great articulation. I'm going to go over the articulation and then going into a montage of articulation poses because he is awesome with his articulation. So don't forget to take it out later. I'm going to remove... Give me those. Now, for articulation, he has a 360 with a little bit of wiggle waggle, a little bit of up and down. It is a ball joint, surprisingly. I mean, he is technically Voyager class, yes, Voyager class. He does have 360 on the arms, but these bits will get in the way, so be mindful of that. The shoulder pads will go up and down, but they do click into place. Bicep swivel, over 90 degrees on a single elbow. Great range of motion. He has wrist swivel. I keep wanting to say waist and wrist at the same time. It's a wrist swivel. He has opening and closing hands. Yes, I know that's left over from the original mold, but I didn't care about G-Axis enough to get G-Axis, but when they announced this guy getting remolded out of it, yes. He has a waist swivel, a little on the looser side. He has that stupid hit skirt attached thing, so his leg goes up, although it doesn't, I think it's dumb, but I'm starting to like it better because, yes, it doesn't give him much back movement with his legs because I go boop, that's it. But he has one hell of a high boot. I mean, he can kick over his head. So if someone's standing within a good distance, he can just poof. He has thigh swivel, but again, it doesn't hinder anything. He's got outward motion, but again, the sculptings get in the way, so it can't go any further than that. He has over 90 degrees on a knee bend. This is awesome. It's down and up on this ankle piece. He has ankle pivot, but the way it's designed, it's a pinned piece, yeah, and then there's this friction hinge, yeah, that's underneath it. So he can kind of rock and pivot in some really good directions with his ankle, and it doesn't look half bad in poses. I mean, overall, and you do have posability in, rotation, turning, uppy, downy, bendy. So these can get out of your way and flow like a cape and be very regal for certain poses, which isn't half bad. So yeah, the back pieces can get out of the way, the solar collectors or whatever they are. I don't remember what they're called. But they do get out of the way. They do rotate and spin, so there's that. My absolute favorite pose is him doing a one-legged guitar from AC/DC. Legitimately holding his own leg. I don't know why. It just made me giggle the day that I stuck him on the shelf. That was just funny. He is one of the most posable figures of his size. I have messed with him since pretty much the day I got him, and then a couple of days later I got another figure that required more of my attention because it's just awesome. Anywho, let's get on to transformation, shall we? It is literally, if you have G-Axis, you know what you're getting into. Now, I will point out something that you probably already have noticed that has changed. Let me darken this up a tad bit. Now, we're going to get into straight to it. We're going to take his arms, flip this back, fold his hands in, make sure that the fingers are fully closed. And the nice thing about this, I didn't point it up, right there, for his index finger. And if when you close his hand, close the fist into said tab fully, then you're going to grab this tab here, open that up, fold the fist in, and reconnect, aka close the wrists. There. Now what we're going to do is drop down his shoulders, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take the shoulder pads, unclip them, and just push them straight down. Leave his arms like this mess for now. Rotate him at the waist, and then what we're going to do is we're going to play with a little bit of stuff back here. It says to do other things first before doing this, but the tab that's in this, or the plug that's into this port, messes with his face. So no, you're going to unpeg that. You're going to unpeg this whole contraption there, unpeg the chest, fold his face. Now, you see this tab right here? That tab's what plugs in to this part of the collar right here. Now, That peg also pops into this hole right here where my finger's kind of showing through. And when you do it, that peg shows right there, which interferes and pushes against this, which becomes a problem. So unpeg this backpack piece before you try pegging it in there. Then what you're going to do is, as this is up, fold this down. Then you're going to take, and be careful, this clear plastic on this whole section is all clear plastic, beautifully painted. But it's clear plastic for the windows. You're going to take that tab, put them in the slot there. So you're going to lift it up a little bit, then plop it down. Now, bring these out, and you can go ahead and take these two, fold them directly underneath, take the arms, side by side, nothing else you do with them, they just hang out there. Now what we're going to do is take this, leave that up front, we're going to blow this mess back here. We're going to unattach the shins on a double hinge and roll this fin out. And I mean double hinge. There's a hinge here and a hinge here for the pins. And you also fighting this stupid knee joint. Now what we're going to do is take the foot, flatten it down. Then there's a slot and a peg right over the thruster. You're going to straighten it all out, clip it down, take this, clip it to the foot. Going to try to do the same thing on the other side. Is string around the fin. Now, you can leave the fin tucked in. And I'll show you that in a second. 1, 2, play with those. Now, you've detached that peg. I don't think there's a, yeah, no. You've detached the shin from that port and that peg right there, from there to there. We're rolling them over, and it's kind of sort of just resting in this nook here, but doesn't really do anything. And then we're going to flatten out the foot, port, peg, clip it in. And then we're just going to roll the legs like this. Now, once we have everything all rolled like that, we're going to roll these upward, roll this downward, and then there's going to be a slot right in that kneecap piece. It's going to go right in with this tab on both legs while clipping everything together. Now, before we get everything all pinched up down here, this whole real estate, you can take this and just leave that there. It covers up the actual flight stand post that's there. If you don't like the fin, I like the accessibility to that port, so I leave the fin up. Don't care. Now, right there, that bar goes in between those two bars there. And then there's going to be that tab that you opened up the doors with. That's going to go into the slot right in the shin. Slam it there, bring it down, slam it there, bada boom, bada bang. Kind of like Origin's Jazz and Wheeljack. He kind of just floats on his belly. But we can do something with this to sort of landing mode. Now what we're going to do is rotate this to make the cohesive sword on the actual roof of the vehicle mode. We'll get into that in a minute. I still don't know why that's got that gap there. Probably because of waist swivels and all the other stuff that's in his internal guts. But anyways, and if you noticed, I have taken off and trimmed down hinges they had left over from the wings in G-axis. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this mechanism, bring it down a little bit, rotate on the mushroom peg right here, and then we're going to fiddle with bringing it down kind of sort of like this. Then you're going to want to line up that slit with that tab and kind of just play around with it till it finds home. Do the same thing over this way and find that slit. After you rotate it, find the slit, lock it into place, bada boom, bada bang. Now they say to store the sword under the wing, like under one of these wings on these pegs. I think that's lazy as hell, and it's the dumbest place to put it, but whatever. What do I know? I think. Now, in his original vehicle mode, there was a slit right in here for his key, but there's these 2 slots for his key to actually sit flush in there, and it looks good. I mean, I would love, if that tab wasn't there, to be able to plug the sword there. Or a tab on the sword so I can plug it in there. Something centralized. Because it is a sword. It would have been, you know, whatever. But I leave it off to the side. Now, for when you can shelf them like that. Yeah, that's acceptable. But I like to turn these upward so they look like landing struts. Maybe Star Wars has tainted me with a little bit of trying to figure out if things look good or not. And to me, that looks good. The colors are amazing. My final thoughts, should you get one? Yes. Yes. Do I have my qualms with it? Yes. Do I like this figure? Yes. Do I think they could have done a little bit differently by resculpting the legs to be the gears instead of the wiring? But what can I actually say? He has a little stubbiness in places. His alt mode's on 110% accurate. It has the fin thingy that shouldn't be there. But I digress because this is wonderful. Absolutely one of the best designs I have actually fiddled with in a long time. And then they go and outdo themselves with, you know. Now, that is basically my look at Transformers Legacy United Cybertron Univers Vector Prime. Damn, that's a mouthful still. Stay healthy, stay safe, love each other, love your faces. Peace.